Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Brent's Hang. I'm Brent Barnett with Gibraltar Hardware, and today, as you can see, we're out in the warehouse. It's pretty loud, but we are building a rack today for Hannah Ford, and she's gearing up to go out on the road with Prince on his new spring tour, and I'm gonna walk you through my rack building process. One of the first things that I do when I get on the phone to talk to an artist about a rack is I ask them 3 questions. What size is your kit? The next question is, what's the floor space, the footprint that you have to work with? The third thing, what kind of style do you want it built in? Now Hannah, she plays 2 rack toms, 2 floor toms, a 24-inch bass drum, and then a 20-inch auxiliary bass drum. She's got 4 crashes, 2 chinas, electronics, bells, a couple splashes, and 2 snares. Now, that's not a ton of stuff, but it's still bigger than the average drum kit. Now, when I asked her about floor space, she has enough floor space to do something cool with, but we can't go too crazy. When I asked her about style, she said that she wanted it to be flashy, but it needs to be rack friendly to people that are not accustomed to building racks, meaning she's going on the road and the backline tech that she has may not be familiar with drum racks. That's what a lot of bands do nowadays. Instead of having a drum tech and a bass guitar tech and a guitar tech and a keyboard tech, they have one tech that does all the backline for the entire band. So we need to make it easy for that person to be able to set her drum rack up so it doesn't cause Hannah any problems. I spoke with Hannah and I spoke with her manager / drum tech, Dave, and they told me that they really liked side racks and they really liked the concept that I did for the 2012 NAMM show, which had the tom coming in out of a tube and a cymbal crossing going towards the audience coming out of a tube that way. So what I did, very simple design. It required a 30-inch tube, 30-inch curved tube for the tom to come out of and a 40-inch curved tube for the cymbal to come out of. So what I did was I crisscrossed them so it looks like the 30-inch tube is kind of going like a sleigh and the 40-inch tube is curving away from her. But the cymbal arm is going to come back and shoot back towards her. So it's got a big appearance when it's really not that much at all. I connected the two with the SC-GCSAR clamp, which is the adjustable chrome right angle clamp. There is a little drum key screw on the inside of the clamp that allows you to adjust the angle that you can connect the 2 rack bars at. And by doing that, you can get a lot of cool different angles, cool different ways, and you can make a lot of unique designs. I added a mini T-leg right here in the bottom for the front, and I added a large T-leg in the back for stability because the toms are going to want to lean in, so you want that extra stability in the back on the heaviest portion. Now for the clamps that I used to put the tom arms in, I use the SC-RMAA, and that will allow you to mount a cymbal or a tom arm or whatever it is you want inside a tube. And the benefit of using that is it has nylon bushings that are about, I would say, probably 1 inch in depth, which cover a lot of surface area on either the tom arm or the boom. Makes it very secure and stable. I chose to use it there because toms are heavy and you don't want them to move. Now for the booms, not as much weight. I chose to use the SC-RBA, and I mean really they both can hold similar amounts of weight, but the SC-RBA is a little bit more sleek, a little bit more slim, low profile when you're out in the audience about 50 feet away. This is going to look like the boom is coming right out of the tube. So now that we have the foundation done, let's put the left side together. For the side extension of this rack, it's just pretty much a standard side extension crossbar that a lot of other racks have. But I had to make a few embellishments on this in order to make it work and to look nice, to make it very solid. So because this bar right here that I'm going to connect the side rack to is curved away from the drummer, any kind of right angle clamp that you attach on it is going to cause this bar to shoot straight up like this, so it's not going to be level. Now, in order to attach the 46-inch curved crossbar side extension to this front leg, I had to make a cheater. I had to segue it to another bar to make it level. So what I did was I used one of the new clamps that we have, which is the SC-GCSAR QT. It's a quick release T-clamp, and I like this clamp because it attaches a bar to another bar at a right angle, but it makes it very streamlined. It's not offset like our traditional right angle clamp is. But then I attached a 6-inch kind of Segway cheater bar that I used. Because this bar is at an angle, I wanted our horizontal crossbar right here to be level and flat. So what I did was I used the SC-GCSAR clamp, which is our ultra adjust clamp that attaches two ends of bars together like this. There's an ultra adjust ball in between, and it allows you to maneuver the tubes in any angle that you really want to without, there's no gears, nothing, it's just an ultra adjust ball. So what I did was I used that to attach a flat bar to it. A bar that was, a curved bar that was like it was laying on an imaginary tabletop. Now to get that imaginary tabletop is very difficult to do. So it can drive you crazy dealing with curved bars because you may think if you measure it in the middle, if you level it in the middle, that the ends are going to be level. That's not necessarily true because it could be bowed like this or it could be bowed like this. You need to have it to where it's flat and it's level in 3 points from end to the middle to the other end. So in order to establish how to do that, I had to make this clamp to where it was going completely parallel to the ground. And to do that, I used like just a regular straight bar that I had. Once I established that the straight bar was level to the ground, I locked this clamp into place. Then I was able to take this leg and establish the height of the clamp on this bar. This is the GCRA, the SC-GCRA right angle clamp. And I attached it to the bar, to the straight bar that was already level. Then I got the height of where I needed this bar to be, where I needed this clamp to be on this leg. The back leg is very simple to add after you've done that. You've done all the work once you've established that part of it. All you do is just slap a right angle clamp on here and you're good to go. Add a 30-inch curve bar, just like the same as I did with this leg. And then I used a large T-leg in the back. Large T-leg in the back. So, because you want this to be the anchor of your rack. So all the way it's going to be coming in, you've got the anchor in the front, and then you've got the anchor in the back. So nowhere is it going to go, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so now that the left side's done, it's time to do the right. All we're going to do is duplicate what we've already done. Voila. Now that the basic frame of the rack is done, let's add the finishing touches. Okay, one thing I did wanted to show you guys was how I attached the no-leg snare stand. As you can see, I've got it mounted on a bar off of the vertical leg, which is great because this is the absolute most stability that you could have, is mounting this horizontally off a vertical bar. I used this piece from a previous rack that I also cut off as well. So what I did was I just threw an RMAA on there, and it gives me an extension. So if I want to make this snare a little bit longer, I've got the ability to do so. Plus, if it's too close, I can shove that all the way back in, and then I can also push this further out so the snare will be further away from the drummer. Hannah also said she wanted a no-leg hi-hat stand, which is great because we all know what no-leg hi-hat stand does. It keeps legs off the floor, which is exactly what a rack does, keeps the floor clean. So how I attached the no-leg hi-hat stand to the rack was I used this wonderful little grabber arm called the SC-EA100, and it's an extension arm with a grabber clamp at the end that has an adjustable angle tilter. I attached it to the front leg of the rack because that seemed like the most logical place to place it. And I used the regular chrome multi-clamp to do so, the SC-GCSAR MC. So now you don't have any hi-hat legs interfering with your snare stand legs. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thanks very much for watching. You know, I hope that this was at least a little inspirational for you, because I always get inspired when I build racks. I get ideas for new racks, and you can see there's nothing but options here. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below and let us know what you think of the design. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.